3 tips on going to the doctor, followed by a crazy story. Right now, first tip for seeing a doctor as an American. If you're not an American, I don't understand how the doctor works there. I guess you just walk into any building and a guy with a stethoscope gives you money. I have no idea. But in America, it's a little more complicated. So my first tip for going to the doctor is find one before you need one, right? Because finding a doctor is a pain in the ass, right? You need to find a doctor that takes your insurance. I don't know if this is everyone's experience in America, but whenever I get a new job, I get a new insurance, and the insurance has a website that has a list of primary care doctors within a certain mile radius that ostensibly take the insurance. And I call them, and they're either not taking new patients or they don't take the insurance. And in both scenarios, the phone is answered by someone that is annoyed that I called them, right? It's just my experience, right? But you need a primary care specialist. I say this as someone that has had problems with my ears and problems with my butt. I'll get to that later, right? If you need to go to a specialist, most insurance companies require that your primary care doctor sign off on you seeing that specialist, which is completely useless, right? Because you go to the primary care doctor and you say, my ear hurts. And he says, well, you have to see an ear doctor. And you go, I know. And then he's like, all right, well, I'm going to write that you have to see this ear doctor, right? It's infuriating. So make sure you find a doctor that takes your insurance before you need to see a doctor. And I've talked about time management in different videos. Do the tomato method, dude. Just call for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. You know, that's what I do when I'm doing something frustrating. I do something for 25 minutes. Then for 5 minutes, I eat some spoonfuls of peanut butter, right? I watch a cat video. I show little Bobby who his daddy is. Whatever you got to do for 5 minutes to decompress, right? So that's my first tip for going to the doctor is find one before you need one. The second tip is once you're there, advocate for yourself, right? Don't be an asshole. Be polite. When you go to a doctor's office, they're going to be insanely busy. And the receptionist is the most stressed out person you will probably talk to that day, right? Be mindful that everyone is upset with them, right? They're next to, like, after MTA worker, right? The receptionist is at a doctor's office is like the most stressed out, right? So smile, be friendly, be 15 minutes early. You know, I go, I'm Bobby. I'm 15 minutes early for my doctor's appointment. Big smile. You know, but firm, dude, because in my experience, the first thing that they will tell you is that they don't take the insurance that they told you they did take over the phone, right? And so you just got to stay calm, take a deep breath, smile, and explain to them that you had this conversation where the doctor does take your insurance. And it's interesting. I remember I was talking to a friend of mine, and this is going to sound random, but I promise it's related. And he was talking about, he's a Jewish guy, and he was talking about converting to Judaism, right? And it's very hard to do. It's not like the other two Abrahamic religions where they're evangelical by nature, right? Jews they don't necessarily need more of them, right? They don't feel that way. So if you want to convert to Judaism, you have to ask a rabbi multiple times, right? Hey, can I convert? Can I convert? Can I convert? For some, it's more ceremonial. It's just like you have to ask 3 times, right? Before he'll be like, all right, fine, I'll help you convert, right? Same thing when you're at the doctor. You go, you take my insurance. And the secretary goes, no, I don't. And you go, yes, you do. And she goes, no, you don't. And you go, I'm pretty sure you do. And then they tap on their computer and they go, oh, my apologies. The doctor will see you in a few minutes, right? Now, a few minutes is going to be about 20 to 30 minutes, but that's okay. Again, stay calm, deep breaths. You're going to see the doctor eventually, right? And when you see the doctor, a couple of things are going to happen, right? He's going to be in such a rush, right? This has happened to me more than once. And maybe it's a product of me living in New York City, which is the busiest city in the world, but it might just be the character of the American healthcare system. But this happened more than once. The doctor will call me someone else's name. Uh-oh. Crazy, right? Never a woman's name, but I'm waiting for that day to happen too, right? And just say, hey, my name is Robert. That's my Christian name, folks. My name is Robert. Just be calm, smile, deep breath. That's the name of the game, right? Also, I would recommend that you ask the doctor if you could write things down on your notes app, right? Or I guess if you bring a little notebook everywhere, you could do that too. Write things down as he's telling them, especially if you have a certain issue or you're getting directions on how to take medication, right? Or you need to bring some information to a specialist, right? All of these are circumstances in which it's good to take notes, especially if you're like me and you have a crazy bad memory. And when you're wrapping up your time with the doctor, ask if you could read back the notes to him or her. That will make sure, it will make you more of an active listener. I know I'm someone that I don't know if this is common, but I'll be so dedicated to looking like I pay attention that I cease paying attention, which is crazy behavior, right? Where I'm just like nodding and I'm giving verbal cues like, uh-huh. And in the back of my head, I'm just thinking about dinner or, would Abraham Lincoln have had a good second term if he wasn't assassinated? Stuff like that, right? So yeah, those are my 3 tips.